This is back roads of Illinois server to farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and the Midwest. I am Cesar Delgado. I'm joining with Thomas Titus from Illinois Pork Producers Association. Thomas is a member of Illinois Pork Producers from Elkhart, Illinois. This is back roads of Illinois server to farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and the Midwest. I'm joining with Thomas Titus from Illinois Pork Producers Association. Thomas is a member of Illinois Pork Producers from Elkhart, Illinois. Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'm doing well, Caesar. Thanks for having me today. It's certainly a busy and challenging season for agriculture in Illinois, but I appreciate the chance to speak for our pork producers and the broader farm community today.
Thomas, let's talk about the Farm Bill for this Congress. But it's hard to find a bipartisan to the Farm Bill. What are you watching about the Farm Bill?
A farm bill hasn't been passed since 2018, and a lot has certainly changed in between now and then. American farm policy has been forced to operate under these antiquated policies, and it's been really hard to find bipartisanship, a common ground, and we finally saw progress here very recently. The House Agricultural Committee advanced the Farm, Food, and National Securities Act of 2026 on a vote of 34 to 17, with 7 Democrats joining Republicans and crossing the aisle. This moves the bill to the House floor, and it does show a pathway if we keep working together between Democrats and Republicans. From an Illinois pork perspective, Caesar, I'm watching primarily 3 priorities. First, that being trade and market access. We simply need a farm bill that strengthens USDA trade promotion and avoids a patchwork of state rules that fragment national markets. The current House package has provisions that would address state level complications like Proposition 12, though that will more than likely be a relatively sizable debate on the Senate floor. The second thing that I'm kind of keeping an eye out for is animal health and biosecurity, and looking for stable funding for APHIS and disease prevention programs, which is essential with global ASF pressure that continues to spread across the globe, and the bill amendments related to reinforce those capacities. Third, rural infrastructure and broadband. With precision agriculture continuing to find a greater place and precision livestock feeding as well, continuing to have access to rural broadband in these underserved areas is going to be very, very important to maintain that farm connectivity, so we can continue to utilize the tools that are being given to us, whether that be artificial intelligence or monitoring systems being utilized on farms. But bottom line, we need a farm bill this year that protects the safety net, that being crop insurance, disaster aid, animal health, and trade promotion. So producers just simply have certainty to manage risk and invest back into their operations.
Do you have any concerns about this if it does not passing by Congress?
Could you repeat that question, Caesar?
Do you have any concerns about this if it does not passing by Congress?
I certainly do have some concerns about this not passing through Congress, because once it hits the Senate floor, there's going to be a lot of conversations, and this isn't the first time that we've brought a bill to the Senate to be able to be reviewed, and so there's certainly some concerns there. And as we continue to kick the can down the road with a farm bill from 2018, it's not doing farmers in the countryside any justice by operating under those antiquated policy measures.
Of course. Wait and see. We can do for now, but it is pretty hard in ag.
It is certainly pretty hard in ag right now. Margins are relatively slim, and the stress level is real right now. We've got grain commodity prices that have been relatively depressed for an extended period of time here, and operating in many instances under cost of production. The USDA and independent analysts see, net farm income, slipping in real terms over the next year. And we're operating at 24% below our 2022 highs. And at the same time, interest costs and operating debt continue to chew up cash flow. For the row crop guys, the squeeze is very real. We have high input costs. With the conflict with Iran and potential impacts upon fertilizer costs and diesel fuel prices. We've got weak commodity prices and tight credit at the end of the day. That remains relatively intense, but many are focused on protecting cash that's available and delaying capital expenditures to ride out the cycle. Now, on the pork side of things, Caesar, the forward outlook is rather positive right now. After extensive losses that were surmounted between 22 and 2023, and 2024, profitability within the pork sector, is really rather optimistic. This has largely been influenced by lower feed costs, steady demand, and limited market-ready supply due to some rather impactful disease challenges across the industry, such as PRRS or PED, that many producers have faced and still continue to do so. Though, with steady retail demand, export growth in 2026 that does look modestly positive, and trade volatility, that primarily being from Mexico's anti-dumping case against the United States. And we're also going to be going through a renegotiation period for the USMCA trade agreement. And those two factors can certainly whipsaw prices within the pork complex relatively widely if those don't work in our favor there. And that makes risk management and cost control, in my mind, a non-negotiable. We've got an opportunity to lock in very, very good margins within the pork industry, even as we've set back futures prices modestly. That forward curve still looks very, very attractive. But my message to colleagues is, control what you can and lock in feed and energy where it pencils. Use insurance and marketing tools, and keep pushing policymakers for a timely bipartisan farm bill.
Can you tell our audience about your operation in Elkhart, Illinois? What is your main job in the farm for hogs?
So within our operation, we're a multi-generational family farm where I farm with my wife's family, the Conradys, Dave and Lisa Conrady and Brett and Jana Conrady, along with my personal wife, Brianne, and our two young children. My primary focus is on the hog side of our operation, where on the grain side, my father-in-law, Dave, and his son, Brett, manage the grain side. But we'll market around 15 to 20,000 pigs annually. But I also have a role off the farm as well, working for United Animal Health as a strategic account manager, working with swine producers across Illinois and southern Wisconsin in reference to their nutrition needs.
What is your thoughts on the planting season?
The precipitation that we've had here over the last 3 weeks certainly kind of eases some levels of concern, because we much like the majority of Illinois have been very, very dry. And so this precipitation has certainly been welcome, but we're not going to turn away any additional rainfall. But with what fertilizer prices have done here, and the increase in diesel as well, you're going to have some folks that are possibly considering, if they have not applied or locked in fertilizer prices, about potentially shifting some acres here. But generally, the majority of your Illinois farmers are pretty static in their rotation and crop plans, and so don't see a huge shift here. But potentially on the fringe acres, you may see some transition from corn to soy, considering what the price of fertilizer has done and could potentially to do if we don't find some resolution to the conflict we have with Iran at the moment.
Do you have any final thoughts about the farm bill and trading issues? Hogs industry?
Caesar, for the hog industry, trade is certainly our lifeblood. Pork exports for the month of January hit new record highs, and we're up 3% from a year ago. And so, we're on a similar trajectory to what we saw in 2024, which was a record year for exports. And in a trade environment where, one of every 4 pigs that is raised within the United States is essentially exported to another country, we really need consistent trade access to countries like Mexico. They are a huge buyer of U.S. hams, and of their total pork imports, the U.S. represents roughly 80% of those. And so, whenever we talk about renegotiation of the USMCA trade agreement and the potential impacts of that anti-dumping lawsuit or countervailing duty suit from Mexico on the United States, I mean, there's certainly some implications there because we certainly have a need for the purchase of the our U.S. hams, but at the same time, I mean, they are a huge corn importer as well, and so trade is very, very important to not only the pork industry but the grain industry as well. And so, I mean, within the hog industry, I mean, we're looking at probably modest growth in terms of exports, even though we did see a really, really positive January, and with ongoing volatility. I mean, the Farm Bill's emphasis on trade promotion and animal health really does matter. I would also really, really leverage the fact that we need regulatory clarity, so we aren't managing 50 different rule books on how a hog is raised and marketed, which ultimately fragments interstate commerce and raises costs for families at the meat case. I mean, that debate will certainly be front and center as the Senate takes up the Farm Bill. Simply, Illinois producers just need some certainty with this farm bill. I mean, we're operating on an antiquated farm bill from 2018, and we continue to kick the can down the road with extensions, and we need a strong safety net, investment in animal health, rural broadband, and trade promotion, and a policy environment that lets us focus on doing what we do best, and that's being farmers and raising animals and raising crops, and giving us the ability to keep those multi-generational family farms alive for the next generation.
Thanks, Thomas. I am enjoying to talk you on today.
Thank you very much, Caesar, for the opportunity. I really enjoyed talking with you as well.
This is Thomas Titus from Illinois Pork Producers Association in Elkhart, Illinois.